He makes it hard, though, for Republicans to attack him for that very reason. I mean, though he's proposing all these things, he's sort of selling it in a folksy, in a very Joe Biden kind of way.
It's a reflection of the fact that Biden comes across in a way that I think is difficult to demonize.
CNN anchors appearing to gush over President Biden's town hall last night that was put on by CNN. Panelists are back with us to discuss. John Fleming, Mark Halperin, Rebecca Walser. Thank you so much for coming back on. John Fleming, I'll start with you. Before we get to the gushing part, and you can weigh in on that for me too, but again, an opinion host, something that a lot of folks aren't pointing out, Don Lemon, hosting the town hall. His bias is obvious, and he's the one asking the quote-unquote tough questions at the town hall. How appropriate is that if you really want to get into this administration and its handling of, just about any topic you want to talk about, inflation or CRT or what's happening with schools and kids and vaccinations and masks? I mean, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. Was Don Lemon the right choice for that, John?
Well, look, obviously, CNN in particular, but mainstream media in general, they're a branch of the Democrat Party today. You can't expect anything objective to come from this. People think of President Biden as a crazy old uncle who's past his prime. He says things that people even don't understand. And what is worrisome for America is the fact that he doesn't push back against the radical left. And certainly they worry about Kamala Harris, who's actually underwater as far as personal likability, because she does represent a very active radical left. So again, I think if we had any objectivity at all, President Biden would and does look very bad in that town hall.
There's a lot of topics, Mark Halperin, that were covered, various ones. CNN kind of noted in that montage replay that it may be hard to hit against some of his answers, but let's go through some of them. This is one. Here's how the president responded to a concerned restaurant owner.
A lot of people who work as waiters and waitresses decided that they don't want to do that anymore because there's other opportunities at higher wages, because there's a lot of openings now in jobs, and people are beginning to move.
Mark Halperin, I'll bring you in on that, and just the rest of that answer talks about higher wages, $15 an hour. That would be able to solve the problem. Again, he was addressing a restaurant owner, but a chain restaurant owner. I believe that person that he was answering owns some 30, 40 restaurants, clearly feeling the pain of waiters, waitresses, bartenders, not cooks, not wanting to show up because they get paid more elsewhere. Your thoughts on that? Was that the appropriate answer? Should there have been more pushback on that?
Sean, there are three things I like. I like small business people to stay in business. I like working people to make a decent wage, and I love to eat at restaurants. And all that's threatened right now. And I think the governors and the president's administration need to pay a lot more attention to the current state of the restaurant business in states like California, all over the country. It's been devastated, and things are out of whack. And as parts of the economy reopen smoothly as we move to a different phase of the pandemic, I don't get the sense the restaurants are.
Yeah, that's the part, just to circle back and kind of tie it all together when I address an opinion host doing these town halls, because you'd want to push back and let them understand that these owners, some of them can't afford to pay $15 an hour. And then others are not getting the tip amounts that they work for tips. They make $2.13 an hour. I know, because I was a waiter. And you make $2.13 an hour, you get tips. But if folks like Mark Halperin aren't coming in and tipping you well, you're not making that money, and then you're getting out, and then it hurts the business, and then the restaurant closes. That needed to be pushed back on a little bit more, and it wasn't. I want to play this, too. There was an eyebrow-raising remark made about unvaccinated students. Listen.
So it's going to get a little bit tight in terms of, are mom or dad being honest that, Johnny did or did not get vaccinated? That's going to raise questions. But I think what's going to happen is you're going to see this work out in ways that people are going to know in the community. Everybody knows in the community whether or not Johnny really did get the vaccination when he's 15 or 17 years old. And so I think it's a matter of community responsibility.
Out of time, but bottom line, a lot of parents are hitting back on that, wondering how everyone will know that their kids are vaccinated, not exactly sitting comfortably with everyone. That seems to be one direct line of thinking. Again, no pushback there. Panelists, we're out of time, but I appreciate John Fleming, Mark Halperin, Rebecca Walser for coming on. Thank you so much. It was great to talk to you here on this Thursday. We appreciate it.